right, welcome to Boxed In, Yahoo Sports' argument show. We break down the real pressing questions in sports history. My name is Dan Wetzel, normally the national columnist here, but right now I'm the honorable Dan Wetzel. I am the judge, I am the jury, and I will execute either of these two fine lawyers in front of me if I need to. We are going to break down who had the worst minor league baseball career. The worst. Tim Tebow or Michael Jordan? Jordan played one season, 1994. The Birmingham Barons. Tim Tebow has been with 4 different teams since 2017 trying to play minor league baseball. One won a Heisman, one's the greatest basketball player of all time. Mike Oz, he will be arguing that Michael Jordan had a worse career. Jay Busbee will be arguing that Tim Tebow had the worst career. Am I even saying this grammatically correct? I don't care. I'm the judge. It doesn't matter. Opening statements, gentlemen. We'll start with you, Mr. Busbee. Why does Tim Tebow's career suck even worse than Michael Jordan's?
Well, when you're talking about Tim Tebow, you got to put all kinds of conditionals on it. This is not a judgment of Tim Tebow as a man. It's not a judgment of his religious beliefs. It's not even a judgment of the friends that he hung out with at Florida, which were a little bit suspect.
Hold on right here. You do not have to talk to me like I'm a moron, and I think that just because Tim Tebow can't hit a curveball, he's somehow a man of ill repute. Do not insult the intelligence of the judge or the audience. Go ahead.
He doesn't want the people to get send him emails.
Of course, he's a good guy.
Your Honor, I was not addressing the court. I was addressing the viewership. But let's focus on Tim Tebow. Okay, the guy has been in minor league baseball since 2017. He has played a total of 287 games. His batting average sits at a wondrous 223. Mind you, this is against single A and double A pitching. He has done absolutely nothing of repute other than hitting dramatic home runs, just enough to get us to think that he belongs there. And then after he hits those dramatic opening home runs, wherever he debuts, boom, he's off the edge of the map. Tim Tebow, again, wonderful guy. Terrible ball player.
Mr. Oz.
Michael Jordan hit 202 in minor league baseball. Basically brought there by nepotism. The owner of the Bulls says, go play on my baseball team, and then just had a horrible season. He stole some bases. That was the best thing you can say about Michael Jordan's minor league baseball career was he stole some bases. Made 11 errors. I looked this one up. Madison Bumgarner, who is a pitcher, has a higher career slugging percentage than Michael Jordan. His slugging percentage was .266, which is awful. By comparison, Tim Tebow's slugging percentage .399. Also not great, but a whole lot better. This isn't about numbers, though. To me, this is about this idea. Michael Jordan was the best athlete in the world. He was somebody we never saw fail, and then we saw him fail over and over again every single day. Tim Tebow was an unemployed quarterback. There's plenty of those. There's plenty of unemployed guys that won the Heisman and then went on to fail in other things. Michael Jordan, the bigger issue here was This was the fall from grace of Michael Jordan, the greatest athlete we saw at that time.
Interesting. I may circle back on that point. Let's start with this, though. Most embarrassing moment for each player during their minor league baseball career. We're going to swing back. Mr. Oz, what was the most embarrassing moment for Michael Jordan?
I have a specific image in my mind. I'm sure we're going to put it on the screen here. It is a Sports Illustrated cover, 3 words, bag it, Michael. Right there, forever. And you guys know this. Back in those days, Michael Jordan on the Sports Illustrated cover was like Rex Chapman on Twitter. It was gold all the time. I collected all the Sports Illustrated covers with Michael Jordan. They were like a piece of history that you kept under your bed. And then there's the one. There's the time that Sports Illustrated, the fabled place that loved Michael Jordan almost more than anybody, told him, dude, you suck at baseball. Stop playing. That is the biggest indictment you can have on Michael Jordan's baseball career. Pretty embarrassing.
Mr. Busbee.
Well, I have 2 separate incidents, but I'm going to even put aside the one where Tebow, earlier this year, back when there was baseball, he tripped over his own shoelaces going for a fly ball. That was embarrassing enough. But in line with the Jordan Sports Illustrated cover, if you remember, Jordan was actually swinging. He was missing the pitch by about 1.5 feet, but he was swinging. Tim Tebow, on May 28, 2019, struck out looking, not just against any pitcher, but against a position player. He struck out looking, left the bat on his shoulder with a position player in. That, my friends, that's some embarrassment.
Let's go back to this point that Oz made. Michael Jordan was the greatest athlete in the world, and he chose to play baseball, where Tebow is just an unemployed quarterback. What do you make of that argument, Jay? And is there an argument that actually Tebow gave up more by the fact that he could have played another position in the NFL, but he chose not to, and instead chose to fail in baseball? What say you, Jay?
Well, Your Honor, I would say that probably the worst thing that happened for Tim Tebow's football career was the fact that he won a playoff game against the Pittsburgh Steelers back in 2012, because that gave not only Tebow, but everybody else who was in Tebow's camp the ammunition to think, yes, this guy is a legitimate NFL quarterback. He wasn't. He failed out from 4 different teams, as you mentioned. He refused to switch, but he was on a long slide at that point. Jordan, I would point out, went back and won 3 championships after playing baseball. So baseball was a bit more of a blip on his radar. It's a subject of a great documentary, but much less an example of a long-term slide is the way that Tebow's is.
And Tebow, let's remember, Tebow was on an all-star team. Tebow's done some stuff in baseball. I mean, not in a great way, but it's not. He has not failed as spectacularly as I just said he's done stuff, like he's swung the bat and hit some homers, but he has not failed as spectacularly as Michael Jordan failed. And it's a credit to Michael Jordan that he was able to go and do those things again. That has nothing to do with Tim Tebow. Your
Honor, I'd like to make a rebuttal, if I may.
Sustained.
I'd like to offer up a quote about a prediction for Tim Tebow for 2019. This is from March 20th, 2019. Quote, "It is completely possible that he reaches the big leagues at some point in 2019. I say he'll homer in his first AAA at bat and his first MLB at bat." Now, that was spoken by our very own Mike Oz.
Oh, that was me. That was me.
If you have disappointed Mike Oz, who is the nicest man I know, you've disappointed America.
Let's give the context of that argument, which was, one, the Mets are a dumpster fire, and the Mets would do it just to sell tickets. And 2, like you said, the one thing about Tim Tebow's baseball career is he has a flair to get called up and hit a home run in his first game. That is something he is good at. He is good at giving you just enough that you remember that he's okay. And Michael Jordan gave you none of that. There was none of those moments from Michael Jordan.
I am impressed at the pulling out of that quote. That was the greatest courtroom drama since Vincent LaGuardia Gambini got that old lady to admit she needed bigger, thicker glasses.
Let's remember, he's arguing that Tebow is better. That goes to my case.
Oh, so I'm confused already on all of this.
He's making a case that Tebow has a better career than Michael Jordan, so he is using my words to help my case.
Because you thought he'd make the majors and hit a home run?
No. I thought he could make the majors, and in AAA he'd hit a home run. Two different predictions.
He disappointed even you, Mike, even you. He disappointed everyone. Everyone in the Mets organization assumed that he was going to get promoted, kind of a late season promotion to sell a bunch of jerseys. He couldn't even get that done because he was playing so badly last year.
But he got to AAA. Like, Jordan never got out of AA. And again, the owner of the team was basically owed everything to Michael Jordan. He could do whatever he wanted, and he's still stuck in AA. I think the best comparison we can make here is their AA seasons, because Jordan only played in AA. Tim Tebow played a full season in AA. They were around the same age. Jordan was 31 when he was in AA. Tebow was 30 when he was in AA. So here we go. Jordan batting average 202. Tebow batting average 273. Huge difference. Jordan slug 266. Tebow 399. OPS, which, newfangled baseball stat, but I think it's a pretty good one. Jordan 556. Tebow 734. Again, Tebow made the AA All-Star team. Jordan didn't make no All-Star team. Jordan also made 11 errors. Jordan made 11 errors. Tebow made 1.
How the hell you make a AA All-Star game when you're batting 273 and you got 6 homers on the whole year? I mean,
because your name's Tim Tebow.
Yeah, exactly. All right. If you had the chance to watch either of these two men play baseball, would you pay money to watch either of them play baseball? Start with you, Mike Oz.
Well, I've already seen Space Jam, so that's enough of what I see. That's enough of what I need to see Michael Jordan swing and miss at breaking balls. So I would go watch Tebow. I would go for the circus. Again, there's a chance he's gonna hit a home run, save some fan from choking on a popcorn. Like all that stuff could happen in the Tebow circus, worth the price of admission. So therefore, again, Jordan, worst career.
I have actually seen both of these gentlemen play baseball, and I think I paid a grand total of $0. I went and saw Jordan back in '94 playing in Sarasota, and I saw Tebow back in 2017 in an official capacity playing when he was playing at Augusta. And here's what I observed, and this is why Tebow is the worst ball player, okay? Jordan strikes out to end the game. This is absolutely true. Strikes out to end the game. He leaves the field. He goes walking past an entire row of little kids with their programs and their baseballs held out, walks straight past them. Tim Tebow shows all the mobility of a pickup truck in left field. I can't even remember whether his team won the game or not. Doesn't matter. He spends a half hour after the game signing autographs. Now, what does that mean? Tim Tebow, better guy, does not have the heart of a champion. He was not sufficiently upset by his own performance. Michael Jordan, better ball player.
The morality clause.
Like Michael Jordan's a better player because he was mean to kids.
Exactly.
That's your argument.
That's what I'm riding with, man.
Jordan had a poker game he had to get to. There's nothing to do with that.
You hit me hard with those AA stats. I had to come back with something esoteric.
All right, what's the next question? Gentlemen, provide closing arguments here, and then I will make a ruling on whose baseball career was sucked more. I'm just going with that because I don't know how to say worse and worse. So I'm an idiot. And this is what you get on this podcast. Get what you pay for, and this podcast is free. So, Jay Busbee, make your case. Whoever you're arguing for, I don't even remember.
Yeah, who even knows at this point? Now, look, it's entirely possible that my entire argument could fall apart. When baseball comes back, they might promote Tim Tebow to the majors. He might end up winning for the Mets in a Game 7 World Series. I highly doubt it. His baseball career has been admirable in that he's chasing a dream, but man, it is time to let that dream go. So, Tim Tebow, worst ball player.
Mr. Roth.
Michael Jordan is clearly the worst ball player. I've given you a number of stats already, and I'm not going to repeat those, but I will say this. Again, Michael Jordan, unfallible at that point in our lives. Like, we had only ever seen him hit the big shot, win the big game, and then we see him go. You got to remember, this is before Crying Jordan. This is before the Charlotte Bobcats, all the failures he's had since playing. At that point, Michael Jordan going and being a mess in minor league baseball it just blew our minds. And for that reason and that reason, before anything else, his baseball career was a bigger failure.
All right. Compelling arguments for you two gentlemen. I'm going to make this statement right here. In 1994, to help out the Birmingham Barons, Michael Jordan bought a bus. He bought a bus for his team to ride around because the bus the Birmingham Barons were riding around in wasn't suitable for someone of Michael Jordan's caliber, and he wanted to take care of himself, but also his friends. The bus had 35 seats, 6 televisions, a VCR, which was just mind-blowing at the time. And my favorite part, a quote-unquote lounge, which we've never gotten the full details of, in the back of the bus. Lord only knows what happened in the back of that bus. Neither the Lord nor Tim Tebow is sure. He spent, at the time, $350,000 of his own money to buy a bus for his teammates. That's $600,000 right now. He just dropped $600,000. Now, because of that, Tim Tebow has not bought anyone a bus that I know of. He's out there saving souls and doing charity work and all those good things. But did he help out his friends by giving them a luxury bus so they could ride around in comfort and hang out in the lounge with whatever the heck goes on in a back of a bus lounge? No. So because of that, Michael Jordan's career was better than Tim Tebow. So Tim Tebow's career so far sucks unless Tim buys a bus for next season. So I don't know who the hell just won this. You got to at least have 2 VCRs.
I want to get this straight. You ruled against me because Michael Jordan bought a bus with some VCRs. You said Tebow had a better career because he was nice to some kids. Come on, guys. This whole court is out of order. Michael Jordan clearly had the worst. We need to take this to an appellate court. We need to overthrow this verdict.
Order in the court. You'll be held in contempt. The bus, man. That's the best thing he did. Guy couldn't hit a curveball, but boy, he bought a nice bus for everybody. That's it. That's the ruling. Join us next time on Boxed In for more intelligent debates like this. Stay safe, wash your hands, and subscribe to our podcast. Thank you.